This is the Strait of Hormuz, a 21-mile bottleneck carrying 1/5 of the world's daily oil. Iran's strategy isn't to close it, but maintain a toll booth. Threatening to disrupt this flow grants immense leverage without a full-scale blockade. Historically, this resulted in a predictable cycle of harassment. Iranian forces would probe the shipping lanes, and the U.S. would respond by striking isolated tactical targets, like radar installations or patrol boats. On the morning of July 17th, that calculation shifted. In a 48-hour window, American air operations moved away from proportional responses and launched a targeted campaign against the physical infrastructure of the state itself. Planners realized that to neutralize the threat at the toll booth, they had to move past the guards and methodically destroy the actual roads that lead to it. The first phase involved a total naval blockade of Iran's coastal ports. To enforce it, the United States moved over 50,000 military personnel into the region, placing the entire Gulf on a state of heightened alert. Maritime traffic received explicit warnings to stay away from the export facilities at Karg Island. Most of the industry complied, understanding the risk of entering the cordoned zone. However, one tanker, the MT Melma, ignored multiple radio warnings and continued its course directly toward the primary oil terminal. U.S. aircraft responded by firing Hellfire missiles directly into the vessel's superstructure. The strike disabled the ship's ability to function without breaching the hull or risking an environmental disaster. Vessel tracking data showed the tanker making an immediate, sharp course correction away from the island after the strike. For every other crew monitoring shipping updates in the region, the risk of running the blockade had moved from a verbal warning to a physical reality. To wage a modern war, supplies must move. In southern Iran, weapons and fuel travel from the interior down to Bandar Abbas, the primary logistics hub for the Revolutionary Guard Navy. American air operations simultaneously eliminated 7 major road and rail bridges along this corridor, physically severing the connection between the port and the interior. This is a strategy of logistical asphyxiation. A warehouse full of missiles or fuel is effectively useless if the physical pathways required to transport them to the launch sites no longer exist. The data suggests the strategy is working. Iran's daily missile launch rate, which previously held steady at 30 to 40 per day, plummeted to roughly a dozen as the bridge strikes took effect. While the offensive campaign cut the supply lines, the defensive shield held firm. The Pentagon reports that the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group intercepted a coordinated barrage of 111 missiles without a single one reaching the vessel. This theater has become a global focal point for technical warfare. To help counter Iranian drone designs, the U.S. integrated Ukrainian military specialists into the region, bringing in experts like Rustam Umarov, who have faced these exact systems in their own conflict. The pairing of a high-interception air defense shield with the physical strangulation of supply chains allows the U.S. to degrade Iran's operational capacity without a single boots-on-the-ground engagement. Inside Iran, the pressure is manifesting in rare public admissions. The Energy Ministry has confirmed that the national electrical grid sustained structural damage from the strikes, leading to widespread calls for immediate power reductions. Facing this logistical collapse, Iran expanded its retaliatory strikes, hitting a power and water desalination plant inside Kuwait. In a desert environment, a desalination plant acts as a national lifeline, providing the drinking water an entire population depends on for survival. Striking it moves the conflict past military targets and into the essential systems that sustain civilian life. This signals a mutation in the rules of engagement. The conflict is no longer confined to military-on-military strikes. It has become a battle over the basic infrastructure that keeps a society functioning. While logistical asphyxiation can paralyze a military without a ground invasion, it creates a situation where innocent civilians are increasingly caught in the crossfire, leaving the path to a negotiated peace dangerously obstructed.